Hello everyone, Dr. Alan Mandell here. Welcome back, Tell Me Channel Science of Healing. Have you ever noticed how many people over the age of 75 proudly say, "I walk every day," yet still struggle with weakness, poor balance, aching joints, and unexpected falls? It's a powerful reminder that while walking is one of the healthiest habits you can have, after a certain age, it may no longer be enough to protect your muscles, bones, and independence. And this is exactly what many orthopedic specialists are now warning about. Walking alone does not stop muscle loss. It does not fully strengthen bones, and it does not train your balance the way your body desperately needs after 75. You see, starting around the age of 50, the human body begins to lose muscle mass in a process called sarcopenia. By the time someone reaches 75, they may have lost up to 30% of their muscle strength if they haven't been doing the right type of activity. That's not just about looking weaker. That loss of muscle directly increases the risk of falls, fractures, and long recovery times. In fact, research published in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research shows that muscle weakness is one of the strongest predictors of hip fractures in older adults. Here's the shocking truth. Walking is excellent for your heart and circulation, but it's mostly a low-resistance activity. Your muscles are not being challenged enough to grow stronger. Your bones are not being stressed enough to maintain density, and your balance system is not being trained to react quickly if you trip or slip. That's why many older adults who walk daily still experience falls. Their bodies simply aren't prepared for sudden movements. So what should you do instead? The answer is surprisingly simple, safe, and supported by decades of medical research. You must add strength training and balance exercises to your routine. Not intense gym workouts, not heavy lifting. Just small, controlled movements that activate your muscles and stimulate your bones. Even 10 to 15 minutes a day can dramatically improve strength, stability, and confidence. Every morning, millions of seniors lace up their shoes, step outside, and walk with determination, believing they are doing everything right to protect their health, their strength, and their independence. It feels responsible. It feels disciplined. It feels safe. But what if the very habit they trust the most is no longer enough to keep their body strong after the age of 75? What if walking alone, while still valuable, quietly leaves critical muscles weakening day after day, year after year, until one unexpected moment changes everything? Here is the reality that many orthopedic specialists and geriatric researchers are now warning about. After the age of 75, the human body changes faster than most people realize. Muscles shrink, bones lose density, reflexes slow, balance becomes fragile. And the most alarming part is that these changes often happen silently, without pain, without warning, until a sudden fall exposes the truth. One misstep, one slippery floor, one missed stare. In a split second, a life of independence can turn into months of recovery, or even permanent disability. Scientific research has revealed a shocking fact that few people talk about openly. Adults over the age of 70 lose muscle mass at a rate of up to 1% every single year, and strength declines even faster. This condition, known as sarcopenia, is not just a normal part of aging. It is a powerful predictor of frailty, hospitalization, and loss of mobility. Researchers have found that muscle weakness is one of the strongest indicators of future falls, even more than age itself. That means a 78-year-old with strong muscles may be safer than a 68-year-old with weak ones. And here is where walking alone becomes a hidden problem. Walking is a low-resistance activity. It keeps the heart pumping. It supports circulation. It improves mood. But it does not challenge the muscles enough to stop them from shrinking. It does not place enough stress on the bones to keep them dense and strong. It does not train the nervous system to react quickly when balance is lost. In other words, walking maintains movement, but it does not build protection. Imagine your muscles like the pillars of a house. When the pillars are thick and strong, the house stands firm against storms. But when the pillars slowly thin and weaken, the structure becomes vulnerable. The danger is not obvious at first. The walls still stand. The roof still holds. Life continues as usual. Then one day, under sudden pressure, the structure gives way. That is exactly what happens to the aging body when muscle strength quietly fades. One of the most alarming statistics in modern medicine is this. Nearly 1 in 4 adults over the age of 65 falls each year. After 75, that risk climbs even higher. And falls are not minor accidents. They are the leading cause of injury-related deaths among older adults worldwide. Hip fractures alone can reduce life expectancy dramatically, and many seniors never regain their full independence after such an injury. Hospitals see it every day. A healthy, active person walks in after a fall, and months later, they leave with a walker, or worse, never return home at all. Doctors have studied the routines of thousands of older adults, searching for patterns that predict who stays strong and who becomes frail. Again and again, the results point to the same conclusion. Those who rely only on walking often lose strength over time, even if they walk every single day. Meanwhile, those who combine walking with resistance exercises maintain muscle mass, improve balance, and recover faster from illness or injury. The difference is not motivation. The difference is the type of movement. There is another hidden factor that makes walking alone less effective after 75. As the body ages, nerve signals travel more slowly between the brain and the muscles. Reaction time decreases. That means when you trip, your body may not respond quickly enough to catch yourself. Strength training and balance exercises stimulate the nervous system, sharpening reflexes and improving coordination. Walking by itself does not provide that same neurological training. Consider this powerful example from clinical studies. Older adults who perform simple strength exercises just 2 to 3 times per week increase their muscle strength by as much as 30% within a few months. Their walking speed improved. Their balance became steadier. Their risk of falling dropped significantly. These were not athletes. These were ordinary seniors, many in their late 70s and 80s, proving that the body can still rebuild strength even in advanced age. And yet, many people continue to believe that walking is the complete solution. They measure their health by steps taken each day. 5,000 steps, 7,000 steps, 10,000 steps. But steps alone do not equal strength. Steps alone do not protect bones. Steps alone do not prevent the sudden weakness that leads to falls. It is not about how far you walk. It is about how strong your body is when life demands stability. Another startling discovery from medical research shows that muscle strength is directly linked to longevity. Seniors with stronger leg muscles live longer, recover faster from illness, and maintain independence for more years. Strength is not just about physical ability. It is about survival. It is about the power to stand up without assistance, climb stairs without fear, and move through life with confidence. Think about the simple act of standing up from a chair. It seems effortless when muscles are strong, but when those muscles weaken, the movement becomes slow, shaky, and exhausting. That small change is often the first visible sign of declining strength. And it can happen even in people who walk every day, because walking uses the muscles repeatedly, but not intensely enough to make them stronger. The truth is both sobering and hopeful. Sobering because aging does bring unavoidable changes to the body. Hopeful because those changes can be slowed and sometimes even reversed with the right type of movement. Science has shown that muscles remain adaptable throughout life. Even people in their 80s and 90s can build strength when they challenge their bodies properly. It is never too late to become stronger. So the message from orthopedic specialists is clear and urgent. Do not stop walking. Walking remains one of the healthiest habits you can maintain. But do not depend on walking alone to protect your future mobility. Add movements that build strength. Add exercises that train balance. Add resistance that tells your muscles to stay alive, stay active, and stay powerful. Because independence is not guaranteed by age. It is earned through strength. Every strong muscle is a shield against injury. Every stable step is a victory over frailty. And every day you challenge your body is a day you invest in freedom. The difference between aging and thriving is not measured in years. It is measured in strength. A single fall can change everything in an instant. One moment, an older adult is walking confidently across the living room, reaching for a glass of water, feeling independent and capable. The next moment, their foot slips, their balance disappears, and gravity takes over. The sound of the fall echoes through the house, and in that split second, life divides into before and after. This is not fear-mongering. This is reality. Falls are the #1 cause of injury among adults over the age of 65, and after 75, the danger rises sharply with every passing year. But here is the powerful truth that many people don't realize. Most falls are not caused by slippery floors or uneven sidewalks. They are caused by weak muscles and poor balance. The body simply cannot react fast enough to protect itself. When the legs lack strength, when the core lacks stability, when coordination is slow, even a small stumble can become a life-changing event. That is why medical experts across the world are now delivering a clear message. Strength and balance exercises are not optional after 75. They are essential for survival. Research from geriatric medicine shows that muscle strength is one of the strongest predictors of independence in older adults. Strong muscles allow a person to stand up without assistance, climb stairs safely, carry groceries confidently, and recover quickly after illness. Weak muscles do the opposite. They steal energy, reduce mobility, and increase the risk of hospitalization. In fact, studies have found that older adults with low muscle strength are significantly more likely to require long-term care compared to those who maintain even moderate strength. And yet, the solution is surprisingly simple. You do not need expensive equipment. You do not need a gym membership. You do not need intense workouts that leave you exhausted. What you need are small, consistent movements that challenge your muscles just enough to keep them alive. Even 10 to 15 minutes a day can transform the body in ways that feel almost miraculous. Consider the humble chair squat. It looks ordinary. It feels simple. But inside the body, something extraordinary happens every time you perform this movement. The thighs contract. The hips stabilize. The core tightens. These are the very muscles that keep you standing, walking, and balanced. When they grow stronger, your entire body becomes more stable. Scientists have measured this effect in controlled studies, and the results are stunning. Older adults who practice chair squats several times per week improve their leg strength, walking speed, and balance within just 8 to 12 weeks. That improvement translated directly into fewer falls and greater confidence. Confidence is not just an emotion. It is a physical state. When your muscles are strong, your brain senses stability. Your posture becomes upright. Your steps become steady. Fear begins to fade. But when muscles weaken, the opposite happens. Movements become cautious. Steps become smaller. Anxiety grows. That fear of falling can be just as dangerous as the fall itself, because it leads to less movement, and less movement leads to even weaker muscles. It becomes a vicious cycle that quietly steals independence. Balance training breaks that cycle. It teaches the body how to respond when stability is threatened. Think of balance as the body's emergency response system. When you trip over a rug or lose footing on a wet floor, your muscles must react instantly to prevent a fall. That reaction depends on coordination between the brain, nerves, and muscles. Without practice, that system becomes slow and unreliable. With practice, it becomes sharp and responsive. One of the most effective balance exercises is heel-to-toe walking. It may look simple, almost childlike, but it forces the body to maintain control with every step. The brain focuses, the muscles engage, the nervous system adapts. Over time, this training strengthens the body's ability to recover from sudden shifts in balance. Research has shown that balance exercises can reduce fall risk by up to 30% in older adults. That is not a small improvement. That is the difference between staying independent and becoming dependent. Another essential movement is the wall push-up. This gentle exercise strengthens the chest, shoulders, and arms without placing stress on fragile joints. Strong upper body muscles play a critical role during a fall. They allow you to push yourself up from the floor. They help you grab onto a railing. They provide the strength to protect your head and torso. Doctors have observed that individuals with stronger upper bodies experience fewer severe injuries during falls because their muscles absorb some of the impact. Here is a fact that often surprises people. Muscle strength declines faster than bone density as we age. That means the loss of strength can happen quickly, sometimes within months of inactivity. A short illness, a hospital stay, or even a few weeks of reduced movement can cause noticeable weakness. But the reverse is also true. Muscles can rebuild quickly when challenged. The human body remains adaptable, even in the 8th or 9th decade of life. That adaptability is one of the greatest gifts of biology. Scientists studying aging have discovered something remarkable. Older adults who engage in regular strength and balance exercises not only reduce their risk of falls, they also improve brain function. Movement increases blood flow to the brain, delivering oxygen and nutrients that support memory, concentration, and mood. Exercise stimulates the release of growth factors that help maintain healthy nerve connections. In other words, strengthening the body also strengthens the mind. There is also a powerful emotional benefit that cannot be measured in numbers alone. Strength restores dignity. It allows a person to live without constant fear of injury. It allows grandparents to play with their grandchildren, to walk through the park without hesitation, to rise from a chair without assistance. These small victories create a sense of independence that is deeply meaningful. The most important message to understand is this: strength and balance are not luxuries. They are life-preserving skills. They are as essential as medication, nutrition, and medical care. Ignoring them is like driving a car without brakes. Everything may seem fine until the moment you need to stop. Imagine waking up tomorrow with stronger legs, steadier steps, and greater confidence in every movement. Imagine climbing stairs without holding the railing. Imagine walking across a crowded room without fear of losing balance. These are not unrealistic dreams. They are achievable outcomes supported by decades of scientific research. And the path to those outcomes begins with a single decision. A decision to move with purpose. A decision to challenge your muscles. A decision to train your balance every day, even for a few minutes. Because every repetition builds resilience. Every small effort strengthens the body's defenses. Every day of consistent practice moves you further away from frailty and closer to independence. The human body was designed to adapt. It responds to challenge. It grows stronger when it is used. And no matter your age, your muscles are still listening. What if the difference between strength and weakness after 75 is not just movement, but what sits on your plate every single day? What if the quiet decisions you make at breakfast, lunch, and dinner are either rebuilding your muscles or slowly allowing them to fade away? Many older adults focus on exercise, yet overlook the powerful truth that nutrition and hydration are the hidden engines behind strength, balance, and survival. Without the right nutrients, even the best exercises cannot repair muscles or protect bones. The body simply runs out of building material. Here is a reality that doctors see every day but rarely gets enough attention. After the age of 75, the body becomes less efficient at absorbing nutrients. The stomach produces less acid. The intestines absorb fewer vitamins and minerals. Appetite often decreases. Meals become smaller. And slowly, silently, the body begins to starve for the very nutrients it needs to stay strong. This process can happen even in people who believe they are eating enough. Calories may be present, but essential nutrients may be missing. One of the most critical nutrients for older adults is protein. Protein is not just for athletes or bodybuilders. It is the raw material your body uses to repair muscle fibers, maintain strength, and recover from illness. Every time you stand up from a chair, climb stairs, or carry groceries, tiny muscle fibers experience stress. Protein steps in to rebuild those fibers stronger than before. Without enough protein, that repair process slows down and muscles gradually shrink. This is one of the main drivers of age-related muscle loss, known as sarcopenia. Research published in leading geriatric journals shows that older adults need more protein per pound of body weight than younger adults. Its studies reveal that a large percentage of seniors consume far less than the recommended amount. Some eat mostly bread, rice, or tea-based meals with minimal protein. Others skip meals entirely due to reduced appetite or fatigue. The result is a dangerous cycle. Low protein leads to weaker muscles. Weaker muscles lead to less activity. Less activity further reduces appetite. And over time, independence begins to slip away. But here is the hopeful truth. Even small increases in daily protein can create powerful changes in the body. Scientists have documented improvements in muscle strength, walking speed, and physical performance when older adults spread protein intake throughout the day. Instead of eating most protein at dinner, they consumed moderate amounts at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This steady supply of amino acids gave muscles constant support, allowing them to repair and grow stronger. Think about simple, accessible foods that deliver this vital nutrient. Eggs in the morning provide high-quality protein that is easy to digest. Lentils and beans at lunch offer plant-based protein along with fiber that supports digestion. Fish, chicken, yogurt, or milk at dinner supply the amino acids needed for overnight muscle repair. These are not exotic foods. They are familiar, affordable choices that can transform health when eaten consistently. But protein alone is not enough. Bones also require protection, especially after 75, when bone density naturally declines. Osteoporosis, a condition that weakens bones and makes them fragile, affects millions of older adults worldwide. The most frightening aspect of osteoporosis is that it often shows no symptoms until a fracture occurs. A simple fall that once caused only a bruise can suddenly lead to a broken hip or wrist. Recovery becomes longer, more painful, and sometimes incomplete. Calcium is the mineral that gives bones their strength and structure. Without adequate calcium, bones become porous and brittle, like dry wood that snaps under pressure. Vitamin D works hand in hand with calcium by helping the body absorb it efficiently. Without vitamin D, even a calcium-rich diet cannot fully protect bones. This partnership between calcium and vitamin D is one of the most important defenses against fractures. Sunlight plays a surprisingly powerful role in this process. When sunlight touches the skin, the body produces vitamin D naturally. Yet many older adults spend most of their time indoors, especially during illness or extreme weather. As a result, vitamin D levels drop and bone strength declines. Medical studies have shown that maintaining adequate vitamin D levels significantly reduces the risk of falls and fractures in older adults. Sometimes, something as simple as 15 minutes of sunlight each day can make a measurable difference in bone health. Leafy green vegetables, dairy products, fortified cereals, and certain fish provide calcium that strengthens the skeleton from within. These foods act like reinforcement beams inside the bones, making them more resistant to impact. When combined with regular strength exercises, they create a powerful shield against injury. Nutrition and movement work together as partners, each enhancing the effectiveness of the other. Now consider another silent threat that often goes unnoticed in older adults: dehydration. As people age, the body's sense of thirst becomes weaker. The brain simply does not send strong signals to drink water, even when the body needs it. This means dehydration can develop quietly, without obvious warning signs. Yet the consequences can be severe. Even mild dehydration can cause dizziness, confusion, muscle cramps, and poor balance. These symptoms dramatically increase the risk of falls. Hospitals frequently report that dehydration is one of the most common reasons older adults are admitted for emergency care. It can worsen existing medical conditions, slow recovery, and reduce physical strength. But the solution is remarkably simple. Drinking water regularly throughout the day keeps muscles flexible, joints lubricated, and the brain alert. Proper hydration supports circulation, allowing nutrients and oxygen to reach every cell in the body. Water also plays a critical role in maintaining energy levels. When the body lacks fluid, blood volume decreases, and the heart must work harder to deliver oxygen. Fatigue sets in. Movements become slower. Balance becomes less stable. A person who feels tired and weak is far more likely to stumble or fall. Restoring hydration can quickly improve alertness and physical performance, sometimes within minutes. There is another powerful connection between nutrition and the immune system. After 75, the body's natural defenses weaken, making infections more dangerous. Adequate protein, vitamins, and minerals strengthen immune cells, helping the body fight illness more effectively. A well-nourished body heals faster after injury, recovers more quickly from surgery, and maintains resilience during times of stress. Imagine the body as a construction site. Exercise provides the workers who build strength. Nutrition supplies the bricks, cement, and steel needed to create a solid structure. Hydration delivers the tools and energy that keep the workers moving. Remove any one of these elements, and progress slows or stops entirely. But when all three work together, the structure becomes strong, stable, and capable of withstanding pressure. The message from modern science is clear and deeply empowering. Aging does not automatically lead to weakness. Much of the decline associated with aging is influenced by daily habits, especially what we eat and drink. Each meal is an opportunity to strengthen the body. Each glass of water is a step toward stability. Each nutrient is a small investment in independence. Picture an older adult who wakes up energized, walks confidently across the room, rises from a chair without effort, and enjoys life without constant fear of falling. That strength is not the result of luck. It is the result of consistent nourishment, steady hydration, and intentional care for the body. These choices may seem small, but their impact is enormous. Your muscles are always listening to what you feed them. Your bones are always responding to the minerals you provide. Your brain is always reacting to the fluids you drink. Every bite and every sip sends a message to your body. The question is simple but powerful. Will that message build strength, or will it allow weakness to grow? The future of your independence may be decided at your next meal.